It's day 352.
of the 29th year and beyond. Well, I just want to say thank you to everybody who sent well wishes and prayers, and I'm feeling a lot better today than I was yesterday. And this morning, when I was in bed resting, I was watching Sunday morning, and they were talking about that it's been 50 years since Woodstock.
Yes, Woodstock.
And I thought about it, I was like, wow, that's just amazing. But, what Woodstock sort of represented was sort of what the love generation.
The love generation. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. And after a 24-hour period, we've had two mass shootings in the United States. I just sort of, and they all seem to sort of be geared towards hate crimes. Um, I just wonder, what has happened to this love that this country, supposedly was representing. Where did it go? Where did we go wrong?
Well, during the 60s when the flower power and the love generation and all those things, when that was kind of the focus, it was young people. However, the establishment, if you will, looked down on them as dirty, as trifling,
Yes, true.
even as un-American.
Right.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
But the folks from that time period, and make no mistake, there were still the ills of racism and the civil rights struggle and all of those things. But those persons who genuinely were a part of this experiment, if you will, of being the love generation and wanting to embrace that, they had to grow up.
Yeah.
And in doing so, I think it began to change mindsets. And then, when we went through the 80s and that decadence, that was a decade of decadence and
Right.
extravagance
More.
and yeah, so big dollars and that kind of thing, and so people, I guess, focus has changed on what was important, but we can't lose sight of the fact that as long as there is a dehumanization of others,
Right.
somebody being made to be the enemy, somebody
Right.
being made to be different, somebody is the other, they're not like us, then if somebody is dehumanized,
Right.
then you don't have to act loving towards something that's not human. It's easy to detach yourself
Right.
and to realize that no, I have to be civil. I need to be loving. But if you're not human, if this is something else, then it's easy to detach from that. Then you also look at the fear.
Yeah.
We live in a time where fear mongering is the order of the day, specifically by our president. And so, stoking fear, a lot of times people will do certain things or even allow certain things to be done if you're protecting me.
Right.
And so that's why, stoking the fears and that division is so palpable and powerful because you protect me and mine, I don't care how you have to do it.
Right.
That becomes the mindset for a lot of folks.
Well, I think that we really need to focus on love and loving each other regardless of what race you are, what sexuality you represent, whatever. We are supposed to love. We're not supposed to judge. And for all those couples out there, keep loving one another, keep striving, keep fighting for your friends and, supporting your friends and love who you fall in love with. It's no one's business but your own.
Well, let's be prayerful for those families that have been impacted, those persons who, who have been murdered, those who have been injured, but
Yes.
forever impacted. And love is definitely got to be the foundation. And so, if you are indeed a Christian, that's what we really, really need to do and what we're obligated to do because
That's right.
God is love.
That's right.
And so, not only loving your spouse, but being loving to others,
That's
even
right.
those who appear to be unlovable.
That's right. And there are some.
Absolutely. But the same way in which God loves us unconditionally, we need to strive towards doing the same. Until tomorrow, the Lord says the same.
Bye.